Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we remember conductor Maestro Flesher from the Youngstown Symphony, gone much too soon. I also prepare Zucchini Slaw. But first, it's bee and wasp season, so let's check in with Bob the Bee Man and Travis. Well, in the late summer and the early part of the fall is when you really start seeing bee infestations. And I've known Bob the Bee Man since my radio days when you would come on with the Friendly Trapper and we would teach everybody about handling bees and the good bees and the bad bees. Well, I had a bee issue, crevice in my house, and Bob the Bee Man took good care of me. So now we're tailing him. And this is really your busy time of year, August and September, huh?
Right, because all your yellow jackets are up to full strength right now. And if you have a yellow jacket nest around, August and September is when you're going to find them, because they go kind of into like a frenzy to get ready for winter, okay? Because they die out. Actually, they starve out, and it's usually like late November. They'll actually starve out because once it drops below 50 degrees, they can't fly, so they can't go out and get any food, and they can't store enough food to survive. So that's why they go into this frenzy right now.
And like I had yellow jackets. And those are not good bees, correct? Those are not the pollinators.
No, they're not the pollinators, and whereas the honeybees are. And a lot of people are confused about that. Actually, you mentioned good bees, bad bees. Your yellow jackets are about the worst bee that you can have around, because they don't only sting, they do a lot of damage, because as you'll see shortly, they actually eat through drywall to get into living areas and so forth.
And then what do you do when it's a honeybee? Do honeybees cause that kind of damage? I mean, you remove those and try to preserve them, right?
Exactly, yeah. Honeybees, they don't have a jaw, so they can't eat through anything. They actually have a snout, okay, where they can get their nectar, okay? So they actually can't chew anything, whereas yellow jackets actually have a jaw and they can bite. And so they'll actually eat through drywall to expand their nest this time of the year. Travis is Bob's grandson, and you have joined the family business.
I joined about 12 years ago. I've been with him for quite a while.
How much have you learned from your grandpa? I mean, that's really cool.
Well, I mean, he's forgotten more than I know, but I think I'd like to think I've learned a little bit.
And he was with them when they fixed my house last week. Now, right here is a hole on the side of this house, and this was probably from cable or some kind of satellite setup or something like that.
Yeah, the homeowner, the previous homeowner had a satellite that they ran a cable through there, and when they pulled the cable out, they neglected to plug that hole back in. So yellow jackets always build within 3 feet of their nest. They do always build above the nest. So when they're behind a wall, you have to use a powder on them. So since these aren't honeybees, we aren't worried about saving them. If these were honeybees, I would be saving them. But since they're yellow jackets, we're going to exterminate them.
And I know he's got it into the nest. Like I said, we got all these snow bees coming out, and we got other ones. We got other ones that are trying to go back in there.
All right, our next house is a nest of bald-faced hornets. And unfortunately, Angela, this is your situation, huh?
Yes, unfortunately.
How long has that been growing?
It seems though it's been growing over the summer. So, I mean, we didn't really notice it till about a month ago. And then, unfortunately, my mom was stung.
Even Bob is wearing the safety net. And you were just telling me that the hornets actually do eat a lot of the mosquitoes and the bugs we don't like.
Right. Actually, they're beneficial, except if they're too close to the ground. Because if they're high in a tree, I'm going to say like 25 feet or higher, they're good to have there because they eat mosquitoes and other insects. In fact, they even eat yellow jackets.
And actually, you can see it if you get a close-up. You can see where they're expanding out on the outside, down towards the bottom there. You can see that where it's kind of stepped out a little bit. That's a new layer of paper that they're putting on there.
Yeah, I was getting the hornets off of me, and I saw the yellow jacket in there.
Oh my gosh, so it's a 2-for-1. Angela, we're here on the right day. Okay, so now, do you just shoot that with powder? Yep. And that's it?
Yep.
How many do you think will be down there?
This looks like a little bit of a smaller nest, so I'd say 500 to 1,000.
In under 10 minutes, a nest in the ground, and then the nest by that light is gone.
Right.
Don't you feel so much better?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Especially for my mom, because I think she's more susceptible to getting stung than I am, so.
And now are you going to start walking the yard and looking for little holes in it? See if there's
It does make me paranoid, yeah, definitely. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we live out in basically the country, so.
Well, Travis, that was awesome. And you, man, you just got in there with that scraper and you got that nest right out of there.
I suppose I was probably nervous for the first 500 of these that I've done, but you get used to it after a while.
So, and then you are a beekeeper, right?
Yes, I am a beekeeper. In fact, I was at the fair for 2 days, and I raise bees. I render the honey, and I sell honey at a store in Austintown. But can I say one other thing? So many people will get a can of hornet and wasp spray, and that's the worst thing you can do, because that actually traps them into your wall, and they'll go into your living area. Okay.
If don't mess with it, call the professional. Let Bob and Travis do it. And I thank you guys. This has really been informational.
Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Casey.
This is the Casey Malone Show.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for over 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may face. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court, and remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at elizabethbernardlaw.com.
R&S Paint is a locally owned paint store and not a paint department. Inspiration comes easy when choosing exciting Benjamin Moore colors and finish. Over 3,400 vibrant and durable colors are yours at R&S Paint.
Family-owned Mayflower Woolham Insurance Group is your full-service independent agency. Our family works with a variety of insurance companies, so you have the best choices for your insurance needs. Let us find the right product at the right price. Personal lines, business, farm, commercial insurance, life insurance. Trust locally owned Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important.
We'll take care of the details.
Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
Ruli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Ruli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Island Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living.
Si hablas predominantemente español, te ayudaremos a aprender inglés. Ven a trabajar para nosotros.
Well, I have another great recipe that is very easy, very simple, and doesn't require turning on the stove or oven. And with all the excess zucchini that we get at the end of summer each and every year, here is yet another zucchini recipe. This one I call Zucchini Slaw. And it is based on a recipe I got from a friend of mine. I added a couple more ingredients and switched things out, but it's basically the same recipe. Now what I've done is chopped the zucchini into matchsticks. But you can also use a spiraler if you have that, or if you have, you can just use the vegetable peeler and make it like ribbons. But I really like the matchstick because they're a little thicker, and because when you add salt and different things to zucchini, it tends to get watery. So this holds up really nice. This is fresh ingredients, super easy to make. So let's go over the list, and we are going to prepare some zucchini slaw. For this recipe, you'll need 3 to 4 medium zucchini, green or yellow, 1/4 cup extra virgin olive oil, juice from 1 lemon, the zest from 1 lemon, 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1/2 cup of chopped fresh herbs, mint, basil, parsley, lovage, 1/3 cup of toasted slivered almonds, 1 chunk of Parmesan, and salt and pepper to taste. Probably the most tedious part of this recipe is getting your zucchini ready, whether it's being spiraled or whether you're going to shave it into ribbons. I am using the matchstick format, and what I've done was use my dreaded mandolin, and I put it on the thickest setting. So I cut that long ways, and then I'll cut these in half. And then what I do is just go down and chop them very thin. Oh gosh, I don't even know, about 1/8 of an inch. And then you'll get like the little matchstick or the little zucchini noodles. See how nice that is? Well, before we make the dressing, I chopped up some fresh herbs from my garden. All of these are readily available right now. Parsley, I did have some lovage, basil, and then mint, because that mint is such a spreader, it drives me crazy. It's everywhere. It starts growing in the front of my house when I had it on the side of my house and in the back of my house. Anyhow, so we're gonna add these herbs, and then I just toss these. And I know it's dry, but I wanna get these flavors blended. So I'm gonna set this aside, and now we're going to assemble the dressing. So I already have a 1/4 cup olive oil in here. And then I'm going to add the red wine vinegar. And I'm going to add the lemon juice. I'm going to add the lemon zest, which is so important because this makes it so delicious and so fresh. And then the Dijon mustard. All right, because that's a nice thickener and it really adds a good flavor. And I don't want to really miss this much. And this is optional. I like the little heat, but if you don't, of course you can avoid this, but I like the crushed red pepper. So I'm gonna add just a pinch of salt, and I'll just blend this together. Now I'm going to take the zucchini, and I will pour this into the salad. And remember, this stuff absorbs quickly. So then we'll mix it all up. And then we mix it further with the herbs. Oh yeah. And then for the grand finale, I love crunch. So I toasted some sliced almonds, slivered almonds, whatever you call them. And I just put that all over the top. Doesn't this look good? So then you probably wonder, well, what the heck is she gonna do with this hunk of Parmesan cheese? You could also use Romano. You could use Asiago, whatever you like. A nice sharp cheese though. I like the nuttiness of the Parmesan for this. And then what I do is I just take my vegetable peeler and I just shave little, see how these are little matchstick noodles? Well, these are just little noodles of Parmesan. And I just go all over it, shave it, kicks it up a notch. So I'll mix this up a little bit, and then I'll add some more Parmesan ribbons, if that's what you want to call them, shavings. And we'll let it sit for just a couple minutes. And then the big boss is going to come in, Julio, my mother, and we are going to taste my wonderful zucchini slaw. So I've got my mother in the kitchen to taste the zucchini slaw. It has all the elements that you like.
I do.
And you know, it's carb friendly. It's really easy to put together. And I'll tell you, it lasts a while. It'll be good for a good day or two in your refrigerator.
And good for picnics because it has no mayo.
No mayo in it. And you know, adjust the seasonings. If you think it needs more salt, more pepper, I added some ground black pepper. So please, Julaine, take a taste and tell me what you think.
Oh, it's delicious.
Isn't it nice with all the fresh herbs?
I like crunch.
Me too. And I really love the almonds in there. I think, you know, the toasted almonds add another layer of flavor.
Very
and
good.
the cheese, you like it? And I know you like this.
Oh.
I've got to tell you, I'm a huge fan of Vinho Verde. Green wine, it's like a light green color from Portugal. It's very low in alcohol, And it has almost an effervescence to it because it
sparkles.
Doesn't really stay in the casks long, and it's really reasonably priced. There's a lot of versions, but this Casal Garcia really is one of the bigger names, and I love this. This is summer all day long.
All day.
I love this stuff in the summer.
It is summer.
It is summer. It's delicious. Go to my website, caseymalonshow.com, and look for my Zucchini Slaw. You're gonna love it. Adjust it to your flavorings, whatever herbs you like, even different nuts or whatever. But it really is easy, and it's a nice, bright summer dish.
Crunchy.
Cheers. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Katulo, and I'm the owner of Katulo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
My basement was dreadful. Cracked concrete, chipped tiles, it was my dumping ground. Carpet, vinyl, wood don't last. Now I have Pebble Stone, the best basement floor covering, made with natural stone and the strongest man-made binder. Pebble Stone evened out my floor. Easy to clean, resists moisture, and withstands flooding. You will love your basement. Call locally owned Pebble Stone, the best flooring system. It's not just any stone, it's Pebble Stone.
Ruli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Ruli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Ruli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Here at Creekside Fitness and Health Center, we are focused on you, from cardio and strength equipment to classes and personal training.
Your all-inclusive membership gives you access to a full-size basketball court, pool, hot tub, sauna, and steam room. And over 60 classes per week are all included free with your membership.
Membership and personal training specials are happening now, so come experience life on the fit side at Creekside, your neighborhood gym.
Selling engagement rings never gets old. It's love.
It's a huge on-taping because they're going to wear that ring probably forever, but if they're not going to wear it forever, they're going to pass it down to somebody.
Our rings will hold a lifetime, and we want to make sure it does. We stand by every single thing that we sell. I believe I can find the perfect ring. I really try to get them exactly what she would want.
And to just be a little part of that is really, it warms your heart inside.
Get real, get Kamara.
He is back. That's right, Rude, the dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery is open for business. Oh, so glad.
Yes, Casey. First, I want to thank everybody, all of our guests that have supported us over the last few weeks. It's been amazing just to see the response. But yeah, we're back in effect. Patio's open, inside dining's open. We're back to full menu. We'll be supporting all of our farms again, all of our local breweries, back to our happy hours, our weekend specials. So, you know, we're following all the guidelines. The staff's excited, and it's just, we're ready just to get back and keep going.
Farm to table, great service, of course, a huge selection of beer and wine, and oh, I am just so glad I missed you, Rudy.
Yes, we are looking forward to it. So thank you again to the community, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody.
Come on out, Magic Tree Pub and Eatery.
Is it time to update your color style? R&S Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop R&S Paint.
Maestro Flesher is passionate about music and the Youngstown Symphony. Under his direction, the Symphony offers diverse musical programs, including the pop series, children's education, and multicultural music. Flesher's enthusiasm for all types of music has him in high demand for guest conductor positions. In addition to Youngstown, Flesher also conducts the Hudson Valley Philharmonic and the Anchorage Symphony. So being the director of the Youngstown Symphony, being from Canton, it must be wonderful that your family can come and see you perform.
It is. It was one of the big components that attracted me to this job. I actually came as a guest conductor when they reopened Stambaugh Auditorium. I conducted that concert, and I have to tell you, coming through here, I didn't really know what to expect with the Youngstown Symphony, and I was so pleasantly surprised that the Youngstown Symphony is as good as they are. Actually, very good. And I'm proud to say I get to conduct some really great orchestras. You know, San Francisco a couple times a year. I've conducted the Boston Pops, so I know what a great orchestra sounds like.
Yes.
And we are really lucky to have Youngstown. So when the job opened up and Isaiah Jackson left, and you know, my parents are getting older, and as you know, my daughter's 13, and we only get to, back then we would get to visit in Ohio maybe once a year, if that. Like, wow, this is fantastic. So I got on the phone to my agent. I said, get me that job.
Well, I mean, you really bring so much enthusiasm. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've seen you on numerous interviews. And I think you really are causing more people to become excited about this Youngstown Symphony.
I hope so. I hope so. That's what I'm here to do. I'm an extremely lucky guy, because I get to get up every day and do what I love doing.
And you're very passionate. You are.
Absolutely.
Was your family really, are your parents classical musicians?
My father was a drummer in a swing band, traveled on the road, and was also timpanist in the Canton Symphony. And he probably would have made a life as a musician, but as a young man, you know, like so many young men, he spent more money than he made. And my grandfather, who I love dearly, said, enough, I'm not sending you another nickel. Come home and join. He owned a shoe store in Canton, Ohio, Flesher Shoe Store. And so my dad quit his career as a drummer and a percussionist and moved back to Canton, and but still played timpani in the Canton Symphony for a couple of years and taught drums out of the house for many years. And I know for sure he regrets to this day not continuing his life as a musician, and absolutely lives vicariously through me.
You also conduct the Hudson Valley Philharmonic and the Anchorage Symphony.
Anchorage Symphony, yes.
How different are those three music organizations?
They're pretty different. They're all three very different parts of the country, and very different cities and very different organizations. Youngstown and Poughkeepsie are more similar.
Yes.
But you know, Alaska is kind of a funny place. They have a real taste for adventure up there. Right.
How do you engage the youth? Because I really think, you know, with arts funding down and just that maybe they're not hearing it in the home, how do you get them excited about classical music?
We try on many levels to do that. We play young people's concerts for nearly 5,000 school kids every year, right here in this theater. The show this year is called Bach to the Future, and it's kind of exploring advances in science and new kinds of government and how that parallels the rise of the symphony. So we try to tie it into some kind of curriculum that's either scientific or literacy or math or, you know, something like that. That's a big part of what we do, and my wife Heidi, who was a professional stand-up comic, comes to Youngstown to narrate those shows.
Yes.
And we write them together so they're fun, they're participatory. She was also a music major, she sings well, she danced and sang on Broadway.
Well, didn't you do like an award-winning version of Peter and the Wolf? I read that in your biography.
Heidi was not actually involved in that. Yes, we won a Newsweek magazine Parents' Choice Award. This was the early CD-ROMs. And it was one of the earliest CD-ROMs, I think it came out in '94 or something like that in cooperation with IBM, that actually had streaming video. Of course, shortly thereafter they all did, but this one was fairly groundbreaking. But yeah, Heidi and I have done our young people's concerts. They started at the Kennedy Center when I was the assistant conductor there. We've done them all over the country. We're very proud of those.
Well, you have performed, you know, when I was reading your biography, John Cale, I'm a huge fan.
Me too.
Ani DeFranco, I mean,
Phenomenal.
best thing out of Buffalo.
Oh my
ever.
God, yes.
What she
Next
has
to the
done.
wings, it's Ani DeFranco.
And, you know, John Densmore from The Doors.
Amazing.
Garth Hudson, Natalie Merchant. I mean, you've really, how do you, do they approach you? How do you begin production?
It's a little different in each case. With Ani, the Buffalo Philharmonic approached me to I conducted there and on and off for some years. They knew I had an appetite for rock fusion, so I actually did the arrangements for Ani as well, which was interesting because she doesn't read a note of music, but she layered up all these cool sounds and things like that and sent it off to me and said, "Can you do something like this?" And I basically just realized her arrangement for symphony. Got the symphony to sound like that.
Are you getting the support you need? Is the symphony here in Youngstown?
I'm going to just answer honestly, no. I don't think folks in this town know what a gem they have here with the musicians of this orchestra. They're damn good. And this space, and we're trying to get the word out as much as we can. Thank you so much for your coverage. But no, we could use more people in the seats here.
Yeah.
Yes, we could use more donations, but at the end of the day, we need more folks to buy tickets. I would love to see more people come to our concerts.
Yeah, more butts in the seats.
More butts in seats, yes.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.